Thank you. I want to pay tribute to all of you who've come out today and know that you are joined by hundreds who are marching right now, protesting right now outside arms factories in Rochester and Sheffield. We are brought to the gates of the merchants of death and the masters of war. Our demand for a full arms embargo. My friends, you know that for over 600 days, Israel has unleashed its genocide upon Palestinians in Gaza, a genocide that has slaughtered over 55,000 Palestinians, destroyed all of the infrastructure of life in Gaza, a genocide that since Israel introduced a full blockade in March for 3 months, allowing no food, no water, no essential supplies into Gaza, nothing, as one UN official put it, allowed to enter Gaza apart from bombs, have left Palestinians on the brink of starvation. As we gather here right now in Gaza, 2,700 Palestinian children, not children, infants under the age of 1 are being treated for acute malnutrition. And it is a genocide upon which Israel continues to build new levels of barbarity and horror, as even its allies started to feel that the images of children starving, images like the one you all saw of a 7-year-old Palestinian girl, her belly distended, looking at pictures of herself on her phone when she was healthy, as images like this made the genocide too much, even for some of Israel's allies to tolerate. Israel, under pressure, began to allow meager supplies for food, but did so in a monstrous process described by a Tory MP in Parliament, a Tory MP 2 weeks ago, as setting up a shooting gallery, an abattoir, where starving people are lured out through combat zones to be shot at as they fight for scraps of food. Yesterday, overnight, as the world's attention was focused on what Israel was doing in Tehran, another 20 Palestinians slaughtered as they queued for food, 3,000 killed since the sham humanitarian agency was shut up. None of this has been a red line for Western governments, including our own, to end their complicit support. None of it has been enough, has been a red line to stop our government selling Israel the weapons that it is using to carry out this carnage, and it is still not a red line now, quite the opposite, as Israel does what we have warned it would do if it were allowed impunity, warned the world for the past 20 months that it would extend its war to engulf the entire Middle East and endanger the whole world. And friends, the same monstrous lie that has been used to justify the continued selling of weapons to Israel is now being used to support Israel as it carries out another act of gross illegality, the assault upon the sovereignty of another nation and the slaughter of its civilians. And that lie is that Israel is a state that is simply exercising its right to protect itself, to defend itself. It is a lie that depends on all of you being able to forget to ignore that it was Israel that launched an assault on Iran this week, not the other way around. And in support, that lie being used in support of Israel's genocide depends upon convincing the entire world that history began on October the 7th, when we know the truth. We know that successive Israeli governments for decades have imposed a system of apartheid and colonization upon the Palestinian people across all of historic Palestine. The truth is that Israel is a state founded upon an ideology, Zionism, that says across all of historic Palestine, from the river to the sea, one people have rights and another, the indigenous Palestinian population, no rights at all. And here, friends, is another truth. When you establish a racist system, a racist regime of religious and ethnic supremacy, you can only sustain it if you teach an entire population to believe that those over whom they exercise power are less than human. That is why we see opinion polls like the one released 2 weeks ago that reveal that 47% of Jewish Israelis believe that Israel has the right to slaughter every single person living in the cities and towns they occupy. That 82% of Jewish Israelis support the mass ethnic cleansing of every Palestinian from Gaza, and 56% support the ethnic cleansing of every Palestinian citizen of the State of Israel. And here, friends, is the final truth, that we come here to the gates of the merchants of death to assert today that that mindset, that genocidal mindset will not change until Israel is held to account, until its impunity is ended, until it is treated like a pariah state that no one sells arms to, that nobody trades with, that no artist or cultural figure will perform in, and that is removed from every international arena. Now, friends, Israel hopes that by provoking a war with Iran, it will silence these demands for BDS. So we, the community of resistance, must not allow that to happen. We must ramp up our demands, reasserting the truth that if Israel continues to be allowed impunity, then it will continue to be the greatest danger to world peace. So that is why we are gathering here today outside the gates of Lockheed Martin. Now, Britain's contribution to Israel's F-35 jets is one of the most egregious examples of our complicity in Israel's genocide. Israel uses the fleet of F-35s to drop 2,000-pound bombs with a lethal radius of 360 meters on schools and hospitals and refugee camps in Gaza. The exact Lockheed Martin factory we are protesting outside is listed as the registered sender of 7 shipments of F-35 components directly to Israel since it began its genocide in October 2023. So we are here today to hold this grotesque company, this merchant of death, this master of war to account. We are here demanding an end to all weapon sales to Israel, and we do so, friends, knowing that we are supported by the vast majority of our fellow citizens. A opinion poll commissioned by PSC 2 weeks ago showed that by a margin of 4-1, the British public support our demands for an arms embargo, support our demand for local councils to stop investing in companies supporting Israel and support the ending of the selling of Israeli goods by every supermarket and store in the UK. So friends, I want to thank you for coming today. We do not stop. We never stop. We will be back on the streets of the capital on Saturday, 500,000 strong, taking our demands to the seat of government. We do not stop until the genocide is ended, until the entire system of oppression is dismantled, and until the Palestinian people from the river to the sea are finally free. From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine